I'm here with Wim Deputter from Belgium, instructor of Brazilian Belgium. He's going to be going into some cool details.
Okay, look, I want to talk about the importance of good posture. And if you think about it, it's really easy to understand why it's important to have good posture. With good posture, I mean that you have to be able to maintain your body the way you like it. You know? When I decide to stand up and you pull me down, I choose whenever my body goes down. I don't want him to be choosing when I go down. So, how you can choose this? By maintaining a good posture. If I just bend my back and I'm relaxed, it's very easy for Felipe to pull my head to the ground. It's very easy to see why this is bad, because if he pulls me down, he can lead to a takedown or a guillotine, or in self-defense, in the street, he can knee my face. It's very easy to understand this. Now, how do you do this? How do you maintain a good posture? It's very easy. You put your knees, your feet, you point them inward, and your heels go to the outside. From here, you bend your legs a little bit, and you push your hip to the front. And now, from here, you arch your back, like this. So you're standing, knees to the inside, toes to the inside, knees to the inside. You bend your legs a little bit, and now you arch your back and put your shoulders backward. If Felipe tries to pull me down now, it's difficult. Also look, I'm not standing here and he pulls me down. I can always take a step. Okay. The idea is to make a strong structure. We just talked about the importance of a good posture in Jiu-Jitsu. Now I'm going to explain to you how you can maintain a good posture and show you some exercises which you can use, for example, in a warm-up that will help you improve your posture. Now, your posture depends on the fact that you can control your hip and your lower back. If I would be bending my back and putting my hip backwards, here I have a bad posture. People can easily pull me down. I want to be stronger. I can either push my hip to the front, which makes it very difficult for people to pull me down. Another posture could be that like a basic squat, you put your hip backwards and arch your back. Now, I'm going to show you some exercises, how you can improve this. It's very small things. The first one is, you sit on your knees. This would be the position you would be having like in a regular closed guard. The first thing is, you just put your hip to the front, like this. Just arch your back and put your hip to the front. And go back. Up. And back. I show sideways. Here. Hip to the front. And back. Front. And back. You can use it also as a complete drill. Something I like to do when I'm in close guard. When I'm pushing my hip to the front, the intention of this is, look, if people pull me down here, I fall straight away and I have to use my arms to get back up. But if my hip is to the front, people pull me down, it's a long way for me to fall. And I can put my arms straight, which already leads to a good base here. Right now I can use my hip to go backwards. I can use my hands again to climb up. Straight here, my back is already arched. Put my hip back up again. So this would be like pushing. Oh, you can even be here. Go up. Go back. Go back here. Arch your back to the front again. Another situation where you can do the same thing is when you're on your back. Make yourself small. Look, I don't only bring my knees to my shoulders or my shoulders to my knees, but I do both at the same time. Why is it important? Look, if you only raise your knees to your shoulders, you're using only the lower part of your abdomen, 50% of your muscles. If you try to raise, you only use the upper part. It's difficult. Now, if you do both at the same time, both parts of your abdomen do 50% of the work, which is much easier. Another part of the exercise is you make yourself small, put your feet on the ground and put your hip up. Small, up. This thing leads you to another concept of Jiu-Jitsu that I always like to use a movement and a counter movement. This means, imagine I want to be explosive and I want to raise my hip explosive. This is quite fast, but it could be a lot faster if I make myself small first and hip up. The same thing, if my hip is up, if I want to make myself small explosive, like this. It's quite fast, but it's much faster when I first raise my hip and make myself small again. And this movement is one circle. You can do the warm-up like this. Up, small, small, up, small. For me, Jiu-Jitsu and martial arts in general is all about learning first how to move your body. If you can move if you cannot even move your own body in the best way, it's even more difficult to move your body when an opponent is giving resistance. And because of this, look, the more economically and better you can move your own body, less you're gonna be tiring, you know. So this leads to the fact like you have to have good control of your posture. And another thing you should be really comfortable with is having a good hip escape. Now many people, when I see a hip escape, they just say, you put your foot on the floor, maybe they put their feet a little bit outside, and you move the hip. Look, you have always to think about what is the function of your hip escape. And to me there is 3 hip escapes. You can tell your hip escape is just to move yourself on the side, in which case my feet would be on the ground and I just move my hip backwards. This would be useful, for example, when you do the scissor sweep. You're having the person here, you just go straight in one line. Now, another hip escape would be, you can use this to make distance. My opponent is standing on this side, and I want to go as far away as possible. Notice that with the first hip escape, I'm not making distance and stay on the same spot, I'm just turning my hip. So, if I want to make distance, I'm going to think, okay, how can I make distance? Look, I want to move my body, always move my upper body as far away as possible. I'm not going to turn, because this could lead to people threatening your back or threatening for a pass. I will just move my shoulders in one line sideways. This way, I can move my knee to the side. From here, I can raise my hip and use this part as a motion to bring my hip backwards. At the same time, bring my hip backwards, I'm going to bring my upper body to the front. And here I'm small. From here to complete the drill, I can take a step, bring my hip back, turn my back again, to the other side, hip up, small, step, hit the hip, and turn back. Now, a tip that might help with this is, look, when I'm laying flat on my back, the tatami is going to give me resistance, it's going to give me friction. So I always like to lead in my hip escape with a movement like this. The same exercise I just showed. Make myself small. And making myself small leads to an easy way for me to bump my hip up. When my hip is up, it's easy for me to raise my body, put myself sideways, and turn my hip at the same time. I raise my hip escape. From here, I step back, straighten the hip, go back, small, hip up, use this to coming up. I turn my body sideways at the same time, twisting my hip. I'm down, put my hip up, hip escape, step, the hip goes back first, and then it turns. Okay. Now I'm going to show the implications of these hip escape details of a partner, and it's easier for you to have an idea of what the effect is. So, imagine Felipe was trying to pass my guard, he puts his foot here. Look, this position we're in right now, you can see it as a general side control. It's a very easy thing. Look, the details of escaping from this position are exactly the same as escaping a side control or maybe even a mount. It's just a basic hip escape. But for beginners, it's very easy to use this setup. It's also less threatening because there is not too much contact. Look, from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my hip to the ground and at the same time move my upper body away. The detail is always move first your upper body, then your hips will do the hip escape. Now when I'm here, look, this is already a bad position for me, but it can always get worse. What will be worse, for example, if Felipe puts his knee on my belly? It's worse. So, the first thing you want to do is maintain your position. I'm going to use my hands and put them on Felipe's chin. Felipe wants to put me on belly now, it's going to be a lot harder for him. I'm not pushing, because I'm already pushing, it can lead for him to attack my arm. I'm just going to maintain what I already got. From here, look, I always turn my hip to one side and move my upper body away. See, I already made a lot of distance without using my arms. I could do theoretically the same thing. I would be very strong and push Felipe away. I would also have distance, but his leg is much stronger, and it would require, even if I would be super strong, it would require for me to waste energy. So I'm gonna stop his leg, maintain what I got, turn my hip, move my body away. Here, try to get closer with your leg. Difficult. Also, in a street situation, it would be more difficult for him to give a kick to my face. He would have to make a step first to be able to do it. So, okay, notice that my leg, this leg here is at a 45-degree angle. If you see here and here, it's exactly 45 degrees. Because like this, it's easy for me to push my hip up. When I push my hip up, I have less friction with the mat once I'm going to move my hip to the outside. I keep my arm straight and I move my hip far away. I have a perfect distance, put my leg inside and move back to the front. You can put this in a drill. Felipe takes my hands, just sideways, I block, turn the hip, body away, maintain the distance, move far away. I need my hands back, so I put my foot to block. I can release my hands and I'm back here. And this you can continue indefinitely. The second hip escape, look. This was hip escape to make distance. Another hip escape might be to turn my body sideways, like always, and instead of going away, then I move my body to the inside. Here, I can grab my foot, my hand, behind his leg, turn my hip in, walk away, and back in guard. It can lead to a bunch of different positions. Sometimes, depending on the position, you might want to grab your hand to a different spot. But the main thing now is that you first twist your hip, and then always move your body first before you move your hip. If you want to do something, you have to do it. I think you have to do it the most perfect you can do. This means if you want to make yourself small, don't stop here. If you want to go small, make yourself small all the way. If you want to be big, make yourself big all the way. Okay? Now the cool thing is, those both hip escapes, they work together. Like I talked about movement and anti-movement, if I move my body away, it gives momentum for me to make myself small. If I make myself small, it gives momentum for me to move my body away. Okay? Let's details about the hip escape.